today's tutorial we'll be exploring uh, what are the different types of service catalog variables available in ServiceNow. So service catalog is a concept, okay, which is used widely in ServiceNow. Okay, so whenever we are working on portal, right, or whenever we want to order something out in ServiceNow, we create a catalog item, and that's where this variables came into existence. So in today's tutorial, we'll be exploring what all variables type, because a lot of people are not aware about all the variables which are present and what are the use of those variables, right? So we will try to cover as much as possible as a part of this tutorial. So let's get started, because it will be a lengthy tutorial, okay, because there are a lot of variables out there. So for today's tutorial, as you can see on my screen, this is my personal development instance. So we will go to maintain item to search for what we can say, some catalog item which we can use for the tutorial. Okay, so we'll go for this Apple iPad 4 because I think it doesn't have any variables underneath it. Okay, yeah, it doesn't have any variables underneath it, so we'll be using this, and we'll create why I'm duplicating the tab so that we can just try it over here. Okay, and we can refresh it out. So let's get started. We'll create one variable after another on this particular catalog item, and then we'll see how exactly it looks on the actual service portal. Okay, so let's get started with our first type of variable. The first variable in our list is attachment. Okay, so what is this variable? So when submitting a catalog item request, okay, this variable lets you upload an attachment for question of the item. Okay, after you upload the attachment, you can also download, update, or delete it. Okay, so it has a couple of properties. So for example, you can also set a property, or we can call it a variable attribute, which is a maximum file size, which helps you to define what will be the maximum size of the file. Okay, it's MB. Okay, so let's get started, and so we will start exploring this out. Okay, so I will just go and type attachment. Okay, as soon as we select the attachment, this question comes up, so we will give the attachment. Okay, it will give the same name, and here we have a type specification. Here we have attribute called max underscore file underscore size, and you can set it to, for example, 5. So it will accept the files till the maximum value of 5 MB. Okay, so for example, and we have a system property which is glide.sc.variable.attachment.default maximum size, and it's by default set to 20. So for example, if in case you set the variable attribute maximum file size to 25 above the property setting, okay, so it will not accept. The maximum threshold will be the property size, okay, which is defined in the property. Okay, so I will set it out. Okay, I will save it out, and let's see how exactly it looks. So I will go to the other screen, and I will refresh the form and it's getting refreshed. So now you can see we got a variable, okay, which is asking for this attachment size. Okay, so this is how you can add this variable, and this is the use of this variable. Okay, next let's move on to the next variable. The next variable in our list is a break. Okay, most of you must have not used this variable out. So what exactly the break does? So the break breaks the catalog item into two sections. Okay, so for example, if you want to add a line between a set of variables, okay, then you can use this variable to add a set. So I will use the same variable. I'm just planning to do insert and stay on top of it. So in variable we can check for break. This is the next variable, and it doesn't ask for any attributes or anything because it's not doing anything. It's just breaking your UI into two sections. Okay, So I will just do insert and stay for this, and we'll jump to the catalog item and see how exactly it looks. So this is how it looks. So I will just change the order because it's of the same order, right? So I will just give it order as 200 and save it out. If I go back and if I do F, it's loading, and now you can see this thin line over here. So this is a break. Okay, this is coming from break. So it's basically used. Okay, the break variable displays a horizontal line across the form. This line is in a formatting element that does not collect any data. Okay, so this is how it looks. When we add other variables, then you will see the difference. Okay, moving on to the next variable. The next variable in our list is checkbox. Okay, so what exactly the checkbox does? So the checkbox variable lets you enable and disable options by selecting and clearing it out. Okay, so this is the checkbox, and we can give it a question as checkbox. Okay, and I will give the order of 300 just to get it below the actual value. Okay, you can also and you can set the default value also, okay, for this particular checkbox, okay, whether it should be true or false. Okay, and you can also make it hidden. This I will not go into those details. Okay, so if we go over here and if we do F5 again, so this is how the checkbox variable looks like. So you can have checkbox on certain things. For example, if you want to see how are you interested or not, okay, or based or email subscription, you can say. Okay, so you can use checkbox in those scenarios. Moving on to the next variable, okay, which is date. So I will not explain it in detail. Okay, what this variable does. Okay, so date one, right? If I go back on the tab, and I will add the variable called date, and I will give it order as 400. There will be a lot of variables which you have not heard also. So these are the basic, then we will go to the advanced one. Okay, so I will give date. Okay, and it will give the date. Okay, as 400, I will insert and stay, and at the same time I will add two more. The next one is date and time, so you can see the difference, okay, in all the threes. Okay, so date is done. The next one is date and time, so I will add date and time. Okay, and I will give the order as 500. I will give date and time. I'm just giving any random name. Okay, I will do insert and stay on this one, and the next one is duration. So let's go over here and add duration. And it will have order as 600. I will again do insert and stay. So I'm covering 3 variables at a time, okay, just so that you can see the difference, because all these variables are what the catalog item same name. Okay, I have to just change it out to duration. and I will do, I have to reload, I guess. So it got reload. It was a mess from my side. You should have one more learning. You cannot have two variables with the same name. Okay. So I will go with duration, and I will give it a name. Duration. I'll copy the same. I'll paste it. Okay. And we will do insert and stay. So we have added three variables: date and time, and duration. Okay. So if I go over here and if I refresh it out, so now we got two variables. One variable is still missing. Okay. Let's see what happened to this. I'll give it as 600. So insert and stay. So it got saved now. If I refresh this out, so let's see the difference between three variables. I'm not aligning it out. Okay. So the first one is date. So if you go to the date, so you can simply select the date. Okay. So for example, I select 23 when it comes to date and time. So you get a provision to select date as well as time. Okay. I will give it 9 and all this. Okay. And the third one is duration. Here you can define the duration. Okay. How many days, hours, minutes, or seconds. Okay. So I will give 1 day, and it will work expected. Now the next variable. Okay. We have completed duration. Now the next variable in our list is the email. Okay. So I will go over here and will go for email variable. What email variable is doing? Okay, the email variable creates a widget to enter and select email address. Okay, the variable accepts only email expression containing @ okay, and domain information. So it follows the regex pattern. Okay, and if you add it into valid regex pattern, that is @ and ending with the domain, okay, then only it will accept, or else it will not accept. So I will give it an order as 700. We'll go and we'll get like emails, Control A, Control C, paste, and I will insert and stay. Okay. Control Tab. I will refresh it out to see the other variables coming. So now you can see the variable came as email. Okay. Now if I give ABC over here, okay, so it will not accept it out while saving. So I have to give abc@gmail.com. Okay, and then it will accept. Okay, this is done. The next variable in our list is HTML. So no need to explain it in depth. Okay, so what HTML variable does? The HTML variable let you provide content with advanced formatting. Okay, include image category for catalog item. Okay, you can also add CSS or HTML script if you need it. Okay, so I will just add HTML, and it should come up, and I will give it order as 800, and I will give HTML, and I will do insert and stay. So if I go back and if I refresh the form, so this is the HTML format. So you can type anything out. If you want to type a code, source code, you can use the source code editor, and you can do all kind of stuff like bold, italic, whatever you want to do. Okay, so use the variable to create fields for user input. Okay, you can also use this variable for reusable content when you want when put into a variable set such as terms and condition kind of thing. Okay, if you're asking someone. So this is done with this variable. Now the next variable in our list is IP address. Now a variable which you have not heard of, okay, or which you must not have used. Okay, so we'll jump into a new variable which is IP address. IP address. So what this, I will make the order as 900. Okay, and I will give it as IP address. Okay, Control C, paste, and we'll do the insert and stay. So what this variable does, so use the IP address variable to specify the IPv4 and IPv6 data, okay, for catalog item. Under the validation script submodule or validation script type associated with this variable is available. Okay, so it allows you to add IP address for anything. Okay, so if what happened over here, I will go back, Reddit update. Let's try it once more time. IP address, I'll give it 900. I will give it IP, and I will do insert and stay. Ideally it should work. So it worked. Okay, we'll go over here, we will refresh the form and how exactly it looks. So it got disappeared or what? Okay, if I scroll down, IP address is like, it looks like text field, but it's not. Okay, so it's like 256.256.01, something like this. Okay, and the validation, there will be some validation at the back end. Okay, the next variable in our list is label. Okay, so the label variable displays a label across the form. Okay, so labels are formatting elements. Okay, no data is collected. Okay, so for example, if you want to display certain text, okay, and at the form, okay, some static text, okay, then you can use your label variable. So there's a label. I will give it an order at 1000, and we will give it as name as label. And I will do insert and stay. If I do what happened? If I go here and refresh this form, then label will come up, but we have given the value as label. That's why it's showing label like this. So there you can define certain instruction. Okay, you can use this label to arrange questions into section. Okay, you can also use label for question with multiple options. For example, checkbox for the different options for question. Okay, so you can just use that as static field. Now the next in our list is list collector. Okay, so the list collector is the same which you use in a native form. So the list collector is a multi-select reference field, okay, where you can see multiple records. Okay, for example, you want to select multiple users, so you can do using list collector. So I will just go to list collector and I will give it an order as 1100. I'll give it a question, list collector. I'll give list, and here you have to define certain more attributes because it's a reference field, multi-reference field. So you have to go and you have to define which particular table you want to reference to. So for example, I will go with the user table. For example, we want to raise a request for multiple users. So you can do the same. So this is this user table, and you can also define reference qualifier. For example, active users and all those kind of stuff. But we will not go into that. Okay. I will remove this file size. We don't need this attribute for others. Okay. And I will do insert and stay. And let's see how exactly it works. So what list collector does? Okay. The list collector variables create an interface that lets you select and add multiple records from a table. Okay, so it's getting loaded, and it should act like a. So here you can see it acts like a slush bucket. Okay, so I can add multiple users. Okay, in this particular slush bucket, there are attributes called glide list. You can change the interface into glide list format also. This is done. You just try to understand the application of all these data types. Okay, people are not aware about all the data types, okay, which are present in the system. The next one in our list is lookup multiple choices. I will give it as an order as 1200. Okay, and what it does. Okay, so the lookup multiple choices create radio button using the data from a table. Okay, so if you have a reference table, okay, based on the reference table values, it will create multiple records. Okay, so for example, I want to go, and you should be careful while using this out. Okay, so its functionality is just similar to lookup select box variable. Okay, which creates a choice list from a query table. Okay, which will be coming as a next variable, right? Okay, there are a few notes. Okay, disclaimers you can say. Table with large data causes performance issue. Okay, when loading the page. Okay, use reference qualifier to reduce this variable set. Okay, and you cannot add more than 10,000 choices on this. Okay, so I'll be using which will be the small setup, which will have small set of records. So for example, let's grow up the system. So I will do CMDB, some table from CMDB. What should I use? AD controller? Okay, I don't know whether it has data or not. And which field you want to see. So let's see the name, if it has name. You can define what exactly you want to see as a choice, as a radio button. Okay, sorry, it should be name. Okay, and I will not add other things out. Okay, and I will just do the insert and stay. I'm not pretty sure. Okay, that this particular table has something. Oh, I again missed to change the variable question. So we'll go back and we go and we will do lookup multiple choices. We'll go to question, lookup multi, I will give the name, lookup multi. Again we will go to test type specification. We'll select table, so it will be CMDB. What I should go something good, right? AD forest. app server. I think this will have some data. Okay, and over here we'll take name as the display value. Okay, I missed one more thing. I will give it 1200 as do insert and stay. This time it should work. Okay, and if I go back and if I refresh the form, so let's see how exactly it looks. So we are referencing to a table. We have not created a choice. We have created a reference, and that reference will create a choice for us. Isn't it amazing? Now you can see that the form is taking longer time to get load. Okay, because it's calling certain reference fields to get the data. Okay, so I think it has only one value. Okay, and which is Java application. So if you have 10 values, then it will show 10 choice list, and you can do multi-select. Okay, let's try to change it out. So some horrible thing, or database. I can CMDB a database and name. Okay, I save and go over here and refresh. I'm scrolling down, and now you can see, oh my god, it has this much of records. So you can select multiple. So you get all the values, right? Okay, this is good, right? I'm not pretty sure whether people have used this out in their projects. Now the second type, just like this, okay, is like lookup select box. Okay, so this was a radio button. Now you will have a drop down kind of box things. Okay, so you can go the lookup select box. Okay, and I will mark it as 1300. Okay, I will give a lookup select. Okay, I will just change this out. Select. Okay, type specification will keep the same. Okay, what exactly does this does? Okay, so I will just first do the insert and stay. So the lookup select box variable create a choice list using data query from a table. Okay, its functionality is just similar to lookup multiple choice variable, which creates radio record buttons. Okay, from a query data. Okay, instead of that you will get a choice field kind of things. Okay, so we'll go over here to see the difference. I didn't change the reference. Okay, you don't have to create so many choices. For example, you want to create choices based on certain table. Okay, so a lot of people do the manual creation of choice, but that's not a valid way, because it will not be an updated list. Okay, if something get added to the parent table, okay, you have to again come and create a choice. If you miss, it will create a mess. So here you can see this is how it looks. Lookup select box. Okay, if I click on this, the same set of values I'm getting. Okay, which is there for lookup multi. Okay, but in a drop down fashion. Isn't it amazing? This leads to the next data type, which is masked. So masked, pretty new to a lot of people, I guess. Okay, so the mask variable insert a field that masks the entire text entered. Okay, each character entered is displayed as an asterisk. Okay, using this variable you can ask sensitive information to the user, such as password. Okay, so I will give it a name as masked. Okay, I will not add any annotation or any data specification. Okay, you can also ask confirmation, and you can use the encryption. Okay, if you need it. Okay, so it will encrypt it out into base64 kind of string. Okay, so I'm not pretty sure whether it was 1400. I will keep 1500. Okay, don't want to get errors now. So you saw the checkbox over there, right? Use encryption. By selecting the use encryption checkbox, you can configure the variable to encrypt its value using various encryption algorithms before storing it into a database. Okay, these values can be decrypted by using the variable, okay, decryption algorithm on the RATM. Okay, so I will go back to the form. We have already created a lot of variables and we will be creating few more. So I have to scroll pretty down and you can see this masked. Okay, so for example, if I add my account password also, I don't have to worry because it's masked. Okay, and if I do show, it will show, but this option will be available only with the admins. Okay, so nothing to worry. It's the safest way to get the sensitive data. Okay, then the other variable is multiline text. Okay, a lot of people must be using this, so I will not go into depth for this. So I will add multi-line text and single line text at once only to show you the difference. So first we'll go with the multi-line text. Okay, I will give it an order 1600. And what multi-line text does? Okay, so multi-line text variable creates a field that lets you enter multiple lines of text. Okay, the name only signifies what exactly it does. Okay, and single line, what it will do, it will ask you to enter only single line. So I will give, so this is a multi-line. Okay, I will do insert and stay. And now the next one is single line, right? So we'll go for single line. And there's one more. There's one more. Okay, we will look into that also. And which is, so what single line text does, it allows you to add single line of text. Okay, so I will do insert and stay on this. And the next one of the same category, according to me, is white single line text. So what is the difference between single line text and white single line text? The white single line text variable creates a field that spans the form, okay, letting user enter the long line of text. Okay, so let's do that also. White single line text, and I will add it like this. White. I will give the order 1800. Why I did this? Because it falls into same category, I guess. Okay, so okay, so we'll go over here. Okay, and refresh it out. Okay, yeah, we want to reload. Thanks. So you will be seeing difference between multi-line text, single line text, and white single line text. Okay, so the first one is a multi-line text. As you can see, I can add multiple lines over here. Okay, the second one is single line text. It has a finite number of characters you can accommodate, and the third one is wide line text. Okay, it's just like a single line text, but it can accommodate few more characters. Okay, or you can say the character length is quite large for this. Now the next one is multi-choice. Okay, I think we have covered already a lot of variables. Okay, so let's see a few more. So the next in our list is multiple choices. Okay, so we have seen the single choices. Now we'll be looking into the multiple choices. I'll give the order as 1900. Okay, that means we have completely covered. This will be the 90th variable in our list, and I will give it a name, multi-choice. Multi-choice. And we will do it. And you can add the choices. Okay, so I will add choice also for the same. So I will do EBC. Then the next one should come DEF. And then what? GHI. Okay, I will add only 3. Okay, and we'll do insert and stay. Okay, I'll refresh it out. I've already screwed the form. Sorry for that. So what multiple choice does? The multiple choice variable creates radio button for question choices. Okay, whatever we have added. Okay, to the list. So we have added 3. So it should create 3 question choices. So I will scroll down, and it's not showing anything. Why it's not showing anything? Oh, we have to do it after the save. Okay, so I will do ABC because that time the record was not getting created. EF. GHI. And I think it should see. Sorry for that. So we will go back, we'll refresh the form, and probably this time it should come. Okay, if you scroll down, now you can see ABC only. Why only ABC? Why not DEF? Because it shares the same order. So I will go over here and I will refresh. It's being a long tutorial, this one. Still ABC. Just reload the form and see if we are missing this something. Why it's not getting updated? Still 200. We can save it from here. Okay, so I think this got saved now. This time it should get reflected. Still ABC. Not sure what's causing this issue. But if I'm missing some annotation, cause I will give. If I save this out, I think it's coming, but it's coming below the screen. Let's give it a last try. Not sure. Okay, what's the problem with this? The next variable in our list is numeric scale. Okay, so have you ever used variable numeric scale? So numeric scale defines the numeric scale, okay, which the numeric scale variable creates a set of radio buttons from a range option like. So if I will give it a numeric scale, I'll give the same option. I will mark this 2000 and I will do insert and stay. So if I go back to this variable list, to this form, and if I refresh, it should create scale. So you can see 1, 2, 3. So you can scale it out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now it's for are you happy kind of attribute. Are you happy with the work culture? Then you can scale it out. 1 being worst and 5 being pretty good. The next is like a lot of people do the mistake on this one. Okay. So which is first we will look into the reference. Okay. So reference, as you know, right? So it will reference to certain table out, and you can select one record from the reference table. Okay. So reference, I will give it a name. Reference, and you have to give the type specification which table you want to refer to. I will use this underscore user. So this is a table, and I will not add any reference qualifier, but if you want you can add any reference qualifier. For example, let's add active is true. Okay, I will insert it, do insert and stay to create a new variable. Okay, and I will go over there and refresh it out. So it will reload. So the reference variable references record in another table. For example, a variable name point of contact, okay, references to user table, okay, and you can add reference qualifiers and all those kind of things on top of it. So this is a reference field, okay, and now if I click on this, so it will be pointing to a reference table with a query active equal to true. Perfect, right? Now a lot of people, whenever you want to create a requested for, right, okay, that whom you are requesting this item for, okay, so people will create a reference field and then they will do all this kind of thing, reference to user table, but you don't have to do this because there is already a field created, a variable available for that, which is requested for. Okay, and I will give it an order 200. Okay, and you can simply give it a name as for requested. I will give, no need to give this specifications and all. Okay, no use need to give which table it belongs to. Okay, and if there is a checkbox, right, enable the so I will keep this reference qualifier as is, and I will do insert and stay. So what this variable, what is the significance of this variable? So before submitting a catalog item request, this variable helps you to specify a request can be submitted for. Okay, so you can specify this information while answering catalog answers. Okay, So I didn't define any table, right? That it belongs, it should point to the reference. It should have a reference to the user table. So if I go over here and if I refresh it out, so it's work like a reference field, but it will point directly to the user table only. It's created for that. See if I scroll down, I scroll down, down, down. So you can see it. It's a reference to user table and it already picked the value of the logged in user. Okay, so this is how it works. Isn't it amazing? Right. So the next variable in our list, okay, is rich text label. Okay. So what is rich text label? So this variable displays a formatted label on a catalog form in the tiny make text editor. Okay, you can format the label, add image, and do whatever you want to do. So for example, if I will go over here first of all, and I will do rich text label. I will give it, this is rich text label, and now you can format this text out. For example, I make this as green, I make this as red, I make this as I make this as 12 points. Okay, anything you can do, and I will make it as blue. Anything, any blood you can do, and I will give it name rich label. I will make it 203 230. Okay, and I will do insert and stay. So you can do all kind of formatting. Okay, it's just like a label, but it's you can make it beautiful. You can beautify it out. So I'll go over here, F5 to refresh the form. If I scroll down, so now you can see this rich text label. Okay, it has a different color and all these things. Okay, isn't it amazing? I'm not pretty sure. You can beautify your catalog items, okay, using this. The next one is select single line text. We have already covered it out. Okay, select box. Select box. We have to define. I will make it 2400. Select box. Select box, and I can save this out. Okay, I'll do insert and stay, and then we will define the values, the choices for it. So I've saved it out. Now create a question choices. So I'll give A, B, C, 100, D, F, 200, and so on. Okay, and I will save this out. So if I go over here, F5, so the select box variable creates a list from predefined question choices. Okay, so yeah, it's loading. So if we go over here, and this is select box, right? So here, this is how the select box looks like. Okay. The next, second last in my list, okay, is URL. So the name itself signifies what exactly it will do. So the URL is used to store the URL. So it will create a hyperlink when you save it out, right? So it will create a hyperlink from the text which you have created, okay? And it follows a protocol like HTTP, HTTPS, HTTP kind of thing, okay? So whatever will be followed by this, it will consider it as URL. So I will give it a name as URL, and I will mark the order as 2500. Okay, that's it. And we can give a placeholder also like https /technomog.in. This is my official blog website, not this one. /. Okay, and I will do insert and stay, and we will again go back to the form. We will reload. And if I scroll down, so here this is how the URL looks like. Okay, if you save, it will. So it's not editable. It's just a placeholder. Okay, so you can give just to give the guidance. Okay, how to add this out. Google.com, for instance. Okay. So this is one variable, and the last variable is yes, no. If you want to ask some question, okay, like, do you need this today? Okay, and then a user can reply yes or no. Okay, so for that also we have variable. You don't have to create a choice for this kind of variable. So yes, no, it goes 2600. No inputs needed. You just have to go yes, no. I will just give it, and you can do insert and stay. Go over here, F5, reload. And if I see if it comes handy, it's taking a long time because we have added a lot of variables on top of the form. So you can see this yes, no, right? So it has two values, yes and no. By default, you can set either of the option, yes or no. Okay. So today we have covered a lot of variables which we can use on a service catalog. Why I've done this demonstration is like I've seen a lot of people who are not making a perfect choice of variable for their questions. Okay, and using this tutorial, I think it will help to take the decision which type of variable we should use for which particular component. Okay, there are two more variables, okay, which are there. Okay, but I will be creating a separate tutorial for the same, okay, because it will be pretty time consuming. The first one is the custom, okay, and the second one is the UI page. So I will cover it in the upcoming tutorial. Okay, if you have any queries on this particular tutorial, please drop me a mail. My email address is technomong123@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on LinkedIn, or you can drop your queries on this video. I will get back to you, okay, and try to resolve your queries. Till then, stay safe, stay happy, and have a nice day. Thank you.